What's up, everybody, and welcome back to StudioBrev. My name is Big Brev, and I'm joined here today by my beautiful wife, Professor Jen. We're also joined here with our cat, Gus Gus. And today we're going to be going over really a highly recommended VoicePlay song. We're going to be doing Valhalla Calling. So they just did an incredible arrangement of this. But before I even dive into that, I wanted to thank all y'all so much, because in our last video that we did an analysis.
Much interaction.
There was so many. I mean, you guys were, the comment section was going off.
It was
you guys,
awesome, guys.
So many encouraging comments. And then a bunch of you even sent me some stuff on my Amazon wish list. And so I got this new Yeti koozie. So that's
Wyatt
super
got
cool.
3 toy guitars.
Wyatt, our dog Wyatt, he got 3 toy guitars, which is really cool. So 3 is actually much better than 1. So he's got 3 guitars now that he's bouncing around the house with. I got a bunch of Viking armor, and then I even got, hold on, look at this battle axe. This is incredible. This all just showed up right after we did that last analysis video. So you guys are incredible. Thank you so much. That's on the Amazon wish list. And so I'm super grateful about that. I also just wanted to talk a little bit about really what this song means to me. So Valhalla Calling was the first video that really took off for me on my Instagram. It was a duet that I did with Miracle of Sound, Peyton Parrish, and Serena Bell, and we ended up garnering over 100 million views across Instagram on that. Like, unbelievable. It's really what sparked all of this for me. And so this song means a lot to me. Now I'm good friends actually with Gav, Miracle of Sound. And it's actually what kind of sparked the full cover that I did with the Bass Gang as their featured artist. So if you haven't seen those, then you should definitely go check those out. But we're going to be diving in to VoicePlay's Valhalla Calling. So without further ado, Valhalla Calling. Okay.
So cool already.
I hate to pause it there. But there's kind of a lot to unpack here, right? So
what are we looking at, Brev?
All right. So the first thing we see, the very first clip that you see, it's like the clouds, right? It's the heavens above, right? It's the sky. And then you have these 2 different scenes, right? You got 4 dudes chilling up in some Viking looking hall, which I'm assuming that's Asgard's hall. That's Valhalla. You know, that's Odin's hall, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And every time that they cut back from the 4 dudes up above to the Janon down below. So right. Janon's on Earth. Janon's just in a regular Earth. He's completely alone, right? So that means the question is, why is this Viking completely alone, right? We're going to get to that in a sec. And it's always separated, at least in the beginning here. Anytime they go from the 4 dudes up in the hall to Janon, they separate it with, you know, those clouds. And you're hearing like harmonies, and it's almost like this dude is standing alone and he's hearing this sound from up above, right? So I'm assuming, I think because the song, I mean, we know that the super objective of the song, the whole overarching goal of the song is being called up to Valhalla.
Sure.
What I think happened is I think this soldier has fallen during battle, and he has just realized, like, whoa, where am I? There's no soldiers. There's no fighting happening. We're not in battle anymore. Sure. And I can hear this whoa, whoa happening up above the heavens.
Right. And he's looking around too.
He looks very confused, right? And then you hear like, oh, when the bass comes in, you just feel it in your soul. It's like, whoa, whoa. Oh, it's great.
I'll add to the percussion is awesome. It's very much like organic, you know, stomping and clapping. It sort of sounds more like those deep skin drum kind of
so traditional instruments that they would have back in those days.
Snares or cymbals.
Right. And then you hear the Valhalla call, and he scoops down to the and I don't know what note that is off the top of my head, but it's really an awesome subharmonic, thick as frick, deep subharmonic for Jeff Castellucci, right? And then where we pause it is you hear that like the exhale, and what do we think that little exhale is? What a little Easter egg is that? I think my theory is that it is the last exhale of this fallen soldier. So Janon, he's the fallen soldier. He died in battle, the Viking way. and that's his final exhale before the gods above send down the Valkyries to bring him up to Valhalla. That's my theory on this. That's how I motivate that little exhale at the end there. Cool. So let's listen to that again.
Valhalla Calling. Ships on vigor of the waves are skimming, bearing summits to the verdant plains. Each horizon is a new beginning. Rise and reign.
Danny, what are you doing? We're
What?
in the middle of an analysis.
Oh, sorry. Did you hear that subharmonic?
I did.
Sorry, it just brings out that inner Viking in me. You just kind of hear that. Oh, it's just like, oh, that is thick. Okay, so that is a B0 subharmonic. That's about as bassy as it gets. All right, so subharmonics, when you get down that low, the vocal folds are vibrating so slowly that you can literally
You can hear it crackle.
You can hear the oscillations.
Yeah.
You can hear the oscillations because the vocal folds are just moving that slowly. And so I want to talk a little bit about this particular subharmonic because I think that the way that they put this into the arrangement, I think it's absolutely genius. And I think all of this was intentional. So what I did here is I'm going to show you what I did. I dragged the arrangement into a stem splitter so that I could isolate this subharmonic because I noticed something about this. There's very, very, very little fundamental pitch in this. And when you do B0 subharmonic, you're still going to hear that actual pitch there. So I'm going to show you kind of what it sounds like with the normal subharmonic without any of the stem splitting. So this is what we hear.
Ships on vigor of the waves are skimming, bearing summits to the verdant plains. Each horizon is a new beginning. Rise and reign.
And so now, when I isolate the subharmonic, notice how you don't hear much of the actual fundamental pitch. You just kind of hear the rumble, right? So you're not really hearing the B that much. You're hearing all of the rumble around it. So they EQ'd the fundamental pitches out of it just so they could leave the actual
sensation of it.
Really what you're hearing is the vibrations really of his vocal folds. Listen.
It's pretty wild.
It's so cool. And I think it's my reasoning that I think that either Lane or whoever produced this, that did the production for this, my reasoning for that, the way that I would motivate that is Valhalla is not something that you would necessarily hear. It's something you would feel. And you feel this note more than you hear it. Now I'm going to show you. So for contrast, what I did was I added another note in there. So I added my own B0 in there, but I didn't EQ out the fundamental. And you'll hear it gives it a completely different vibe. So now you're going to hear a lot of that B fundamental, but because of that, you're not going to feel the rumble quite as much. So check this out. It changes the arrangement entirely.
Ships on vigor of the waves are skimming, bearing summits to the verge.
How different does that sound?
Yeah, for sure.
So now you have too much fundamental, right? I'll play the other one again.
Ships on vigor of the waves are skimming, bearing
There's more
summits to the
crackle.
verge.
There's a lot more feel in it,
Sure.
and less actual pitch. And I think that was intentional, and I think that it's genius. And so whoever made that decision, props to you, because that is incredible. That's something that I never would have thought to have done myself. And so there was one other thing that I noticed here that I wanted to kind of show. Listen now to the actual pattern of this bass line, because it's not just the B0. So yes, that's not the purring of Gus Gus. That is Jeff Castellucci's rumbling subharmonic. So you have there a it's going up and down, up and down. And to
very
me,
slidey. It's intentionally not just one note the next.
Yes,
right?
To me, what I'm picturing is kind of like the landscape of a mountain range. So like you're seeing it go up and down and up
Peaks and valleys.
and down. There's peaks and valleys. And mountains were actually very symbolic to Vikings. They represented strength. And typically what they really represented was the outer kind of the outline of like civilizations. Like this was the border around different civilizations that they had, because they would build little colonies and stuff on the flatlands, and then they would be surrounded by mountains, right? Presumably, those mountains would be even bigger in Valhalla and stronger in Valhalla, and like they would rumble. They would have their own kind of like personality, right? And so I think that that's part of why this is in that arrangement. That's how I motivate doing this. Really, like this isn't the bass line I would expect here, because he could have just held the B0. The B0 would have worked all the way
and more,
through.
Accurately moved to the top note instead
Exactly.
of trying to
making it
slide up,
look more like kind of like a landscape rather than just a flat, B0. And so I think that too really ties in to the arrangement. And of course, it's on Subharmonics.
Speaking of Subharmonics, maybe we should tell them a little bit about the super exciting study that Brev and Bobby Bass and David Kahn have been participating with the team at Mass General. I mean, we're talking an incredible team, the very team that worked on Julie Andrews' voice.
Hold on. The team that fixed Julie Andrews' voice,
Right.
not the one that botched her vocal folds, the one that ultimately fixed her. So StudioBrev is running this study, a study on subharmonics, as Jen just said. So essentially, we are running the first academic study of true fold subharmonics, which is the exact same singing technique that Jeff Castellucci uses. And the research has been incredible. And as Jen mentioned, it's not just me that they're studying. Yes, they're studying me, but they're also studying Bobby Bass, and then our good friend David Kahn, who has very, very thick subharmonics as well. So definitely stay tuned for the subharmonics study that we are going to be releasing on YouTube once we have all of the findings.
If this really intrigues you and you really want to learn how to do it, you should probably check out Brev and Peter Barber's Bass Singer Academy, where subharmonics, along with chest fry and extended techniques and all kinds of good stuff, they really dig into.
Yep, anything that has to do with
all
bass.
things bass. All
things bass. And I know many of you, if you're VoicePlay fans, you definitely know Peter Barber. So we have teamed up to create Bass Singer Academy. So definitely check that out. All right, let's get back to VoicePlay though.
Valhalla Calling. Ships on vigor of the waves are skimming, bearing summits to the verdant plains. Each horizon is a new beginning, rise and reign.
Far from the fjords and the ice-cold currents, ravens soar over new frontiers. Storms and sagas of a fate determined, shields and spears.
Vows of favor.
Whoa, there's a lot to unpack here.
Oh my God.
Let me start with Janan. So first of all, while he recovers here. So Janan was once a member of VoicePlay, and I do believe he stepped away to join the Navy.
The Navy. I think that's, yeah.
And so it's really cool to have him as a featured guest here. What a cool voice. I mean, it's warm. It has bite. He's utilizing some distortion and really cool dynamic contrast. It sort of starts off as this like whispery, distorted, like he can't believe, you know, he's about to enter Valhalla, right?
Right. And what's cool about it is you'll notice that he's also like harmonizing with these gods up above for the first time, right? And so he's down below on planet Earth. They're up in the halls of in Odin's Hall in Asgard, right? And then when Jeff comes in, right? Notice how everyone stops singing the words.
Yeah.
They get out of his way.
Started harmonizing
They start.
ooh.
Yep. They go to the ooh vowel. They just kind of get out of his way because no one talks over Odin. So what I think, what my theory is behind this is that Jeff's voice is the voice of Odin, and he's coming in on that like beefy F sharp.
I'm sure all the basses
Subharmonics.
would agree with this. Yeah.
Well, I mean, come on, man. Like,
I get it though.
come on. Demands attention.
Sure,
It's
sure.
very like authoritative. He comes in on that F sharp like subharmonic, which subharmonics, like one thing about them is they can be really, really finicky, right? Like they can be super, super finicky. The questions that I get on them all the time is, how do I make them more consistent? And so if I'm feeling that, Bobby Bass is feeling that, everyone's feeling that, I'd be willing to bet that Jeff even feels that too. That's actually one thing that we're hoping to figure out in the subharmonic study that we're doing. But he comes in with it, and it's just like, stop what you're doing because Odin is speaking. Get out of Odin's way. And so that's kind of my theory here
It's a good theory.
on what Jeff represents in this. I think Jeff is playing Odin in this, and so it's pretty freaking cool. All right, let's get back to it.
All right.
Far from the fjords and the ice-cold currents, ravens soar over new frontiers.
That is Chet's voice.
Songs and sagas
That's
of a
in the
fate
basement.
determined shields and spears.
That's not Chet's voice
No,
though,
of
right?
course
What
not.
is that? An F sharp 1?
Yeah, that's a subharmonic.
That's so cool. That's awesome. It reminds me of when you were singing on stage with Tim Faust. Do you remember that? When
Of
he
course.
handed you the last note?
All right.
You should probably show them, right? I mean, it's too cool not to show them.
All right. So Jen you're gassing me up right now. So Tim Faust invited me to sing. Tim Faust, for anyone who doesn't know, is the bass of Home Free. Tim Faust has an incredible lower extension to his range as well. He doesn't use subharmonics. He uses a different technique that we are yet to figure out how he does it. But he threw a curveball at me because the night before our concert that we were doing together, he informed me that I would be taking the final note of the final song of the night, and
No
it would
pressure.
be that I would be taking the final note. And yes, you're right. It was an F sharp 1. It's the same note. It's that. It's that one. And for anyone out there that, I mean, we already kind of talked about it. They are finicky, and so my heart was pounding.
I
like
bet.
I'm waiting for my moment here. Tim Faust is going to hand me the final note, and so let me skip some of
Ladies
this.
and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Big Brev.
Thank you. Okay.
It's awesome.
So
Thank
there's
you
my
for
big moment. Actually, look at same shirt. Got the Big Brev merch.
a
Big
good
Brev
shirt.
merch plug.
So you've sung on stage then with Bobby Bass. You've been on stage.
Yes, Bobby many times.
Peter Barber.
Peter Barber.
Even,
Tim Faust.
of course.
The big
of
dog.
course.
Yep.
You've sung with Avi Kaplan.
That's right. Same with Ivy Kaplan.
Have you ever sung with Jeff before, though?
You know I haven't sung with Jeff.
I
You
mean-
know I've never sung with Jeff.
Do you think that... I think that it should happen.
Okay.
I don't know. Who am I? But if you think it should happen, maybe take to the comments and just say how cool that would be, because it would be so cool.
I mean, you know
right?
I would. Twist my arm. I would sing with him.
Yeah.
So,
So-
you know, if y'all want that to really happen, take the comments. Maybe we can make it happen. That would be a dream. So, yes. Thank you, Jen, for gassing me up like that.
Of course,
Appreciate
baby.
that.
That's
But
what I'm here for.
I want to get back to Jeff. So, Jeff, a.k.a. Odin, voice of Odin. So, let's get back to VoicePlay's Valhalla Calling.
Years, songs and sagas of a fate determined shields and spears.
Vows of favor or the thrill of plunder, pulled together for the clan and kin. Clank of hammers and the crash of thunder, pound within.
Oh, you hear that?
That's so cool. That's some cool
Oh my
distortion.
God, Ellie's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's right there. He's coming out of what's known as a false fold, or maybe even a little epiglottic distortion. Kalankov. That's that like it's that part of the throat. So when you clear your throat, what's happening is your false vocal folds, they relax and they vibrate when you go and it helps you clear your throat. So he's using that technique in that lower line. As he goes up, he's actually transferring from a false fold distortion to a true fold distortion, what some people call a fry distortion, which is like I'll give an example. Clank of hammers and the crash of thunder. So here are the thunder. That is more on the true folds than clank, like that clank of. So you kind of hear the difference of those two different distortions. So he's using both of those as texture changes as he goes up the line. That's impeccable singing technique right there.
Absolutely. And in this also, Jay Nun is now singing along with the gods and harmonizing with them.
Yep.
And you'll also hear a lot of really cool syncopations and breath work kind of to articulate the rhythm here. Really cool arrangement.
I definitely think it's genius for them to be like really getting Jay Nun now more immersed into the gods. So now there's a transition kind of happening here. He's starting to kind of become like this person that's really transcending into Valhalla. It's great writing. I guess, all right, let's just get back to it.
The favor or the thrill of plunder, pull together for the clan and kin. Clank of hammers and the crash of thunder, pound within. Oh, the echoes of eternity. Oh, Valhalla calling me.
Oh, right there. Hear that? Now the gods are echoing him. Valhalla calling me. So now they're literally like they're collaborating. The collaboration between Jay Nun and the gods is just growing stronger and stronger.
Valhalla calling me to pluck the strings of destiny. Valhalla calling me.
Valhalla calling me.
Wait. So, okay, the Lane's like sound effect that seamlessly goes into the key of the piece. That was really, really cool. And then Caesar, his sort of May.
Yeah, little modification there.
I love that.
Yeah, and then of course Odin's coming in with that. I mean, this is a low B, which for most people, Valhalla calling me, is really deep for most people. For Jeff, they don't call him G1 Jeff for nothing. A B for him is, I mean, that's light work. Coming in, interrupting the entire line, Valhalla calling me. Really, really, really cool writing there. I definitely think that the knife throwing bit was a really cool touch
I love
too.
that, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, all right, so the like, for me, that kind of tells me that time is slowing down.
Sure.
That's what I think. It's like, because it's almost like a slow down effect. It's like, notice how it starts like, and it kind of slows down, it lowers in pitch. And I could motivate that by saying, when we do cross over, fallen in battle, when the Viking, does fall in battle, there would be a slowing of time.
Sure.
Like time just kind of stops. You kind of just wake up and you're in like this new realm, right? We got God singing from up above. We got freaking the voice of Odin just singing all these low notes that you feel in your soul, down in your guts. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think that that's kind of what this whole thing.
Sure.
This whole thing. Sorry, I know I get a little too deep sometimes with these, but if y'all want me to speed up these, just tell them in the comments. But I go deep.
If you're nerding out on this and you love this, you definitely want to check out Danny's Sound of Silence analysis of his own rendition of it. I mean, he
deep.
digs. It's really, really good.
That's
so if
my
you're
deepest
into
one.
this, definitely check that out. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. All right.
To pluck the strings of destiny. Valhalla calling me.
Valhalla calling me. Sails are swaying on the crimson river, blood and glory in the fighting field.
Shields are shattered into splintered timbers, iron and steel.
All right. So now, okay, so Jay Nun, who was harmonizing before with the other gods, now he's doing a call and response with Odin, with Jeff. So it's literally, they're going back and forth. He's not harmonizing with Odin. Notice that they're not harmonizing. It's more of a call and response, almost like a father and son type of relationship here that I'm kind of sensing.
All right.
That's kind of what I'm feeling. And then also, of course, Jay Nun with a little more of the vocal distortion. Mm-hmm. There's more of that. And like the whole atmosphere of this is growing. To me, it just seems more and more like Jay Nun is slowly getting to the point where he's heading up to Valhalla.
Sure.
Do you agree with all this?
Yeah.
Am I going too
I
far
don't
with it?
disagree.
All right.
No, hey,
All right. Very good.
I like it.
Sails are swaying on the crimson rear.
Again, still in chest voice.
Glory in the fighting.
Shields are shattered into splintered timbers, iron and steel. Fires are rising and the bells are ringing. Glory, take us into Odin's halls. Golden glitter at the sound of singing. Asgard's call.
Yo,
That's so impressive.
he's literally sustaining.
It was so legato too. Like he just like kept like the vowels were just flying off those consonants. It's just so effortless.
Those are high D's. Those are high D's. That's higher than Pavarotti. That's high. Like I'm sorry. Like
with such like controlled distortion to be able to do that. That is so
it's
expert
compression.
level.
It's putting compression on it.
Yeah. That's
Putting
so...
compression on it. Putting compression on it. Getting that like true fold distortion while maintaining a legato line.
Yeah.
On a high D. And it just kept going.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't do the examples for y'all. I can't get up there. Sorry. Can't do that one. That's insane. This guy Ellie is a beast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk about a freaking, a freak of a tenor. My God. And so really what's happening here is, so I want to kind of break this down a little bit. Like why this is so impressive. We have two muscles responsible for how we sing, right? We got the cricothyroid muscle. You can call that the CT muscle. That make it a little easier to remember. And then you got the thyroarytenoid muscle. You can call that the TA muscle. The cricothyroid muscle is this muscle right here. Notice how it can go way high?
Floaty, hooty.
When I take it way down here, it sounds kind of weird, right? The other muscle is the thyroarytenoid muscle. It's the muscle I'm using right now.
Meteor. Yeah.
It's the muscle I use to talk, right? Most men do. Some women do talk more in their like cricothyroid.
Most women talk in America, at least, like with their.
You can usually tell if someone doesn't because they're way up here. Hi, how are you? You know what I mean? So you have two different muscles here. Now, when you take that thyroarytenoid muscle and you go up to a high D, that's incredible because he could really do more of a mix up there, but he's not. He's really bringing so much weight up there. You can tell the difference between the two muscles with like a yodel flip. So you hear like a ooh, kind of sounds like like an ambulance or something. That's how you can you literally hear a little pop where it goes and the voice
switches.
When the voice cracks. What it is it's essentially a very not a good transition. Like it's an abrupt, like where one muscle kind of interrupts the other muscle. And so that's just why I think this is so incredible because he's bringing the weight up of really what most people would say. That's the wrong muscle. If you're going to sing up there, you should use cricothyroid, but he don't need to.
Nothing
because
wrong about what Ellie's doing.
Nothing.
Right there.
He is a beast. This is incredible. Oh, look at that.
He made it.
He's there. He's in Asgard. Really cool. So they even use like the creaking door to to make sure that if you're listening and you're not watching the YouTube video, you still know that someone is entering a new room.
The echoes of eternity. Valhalla calling me to pluck the strings of destiny. Valhalla calling.
All right, so Caesar now getting his chance to shine up there.
What's so cool too, is all of these singers have the capacity to choose when they do not want to use vibrato. So when you're a beginner singer, you want vibrato more than anything. You almost try to fake it and make it. But really, vibrato is like your voice's way of thanking you for freedom. And the more advanced you get, like these guys here, they are intentionally depriving their voice of vibrato and then at the end of the phrase, letting it just kind of waggle off
masterfully. Absolutely masterfully. So
really
what Jen's
cool.
talking about with like beginner singers trying to learn this, you'll hear this a lot with like they'll do what's that Aaron
Neville?
Aaron Neville, the Aaron Neville vibrato where he kind of like does that type of vibrato. That's not the typical, like what vibrato is and what Jen is saying about like the vocal freedom is. All right, so you look at the larynx again. So here's the larynx. what vibrato is it's when these muscles here completely relax and they allow the larynx to gently rock like a cradle, right? So we don't create vibrato, we allow vibrato. We actually create straight tone.
Right.
So the way you make straight tone is you engage these muscles and they stop the cradle from rocking. So you kind of like, if I'm going to go, I'll give you an example. So I'll kind of rock when I'm doing the vibrato, when I release. So, where I allow the vibrato to kind of creep in that way. And these guys, obviously, they do this absolutely masterfully. You'll also notice that Janon is now fully embraced by the gods, fully embraced. They're actually in there. They're singing together. They're all they're hanging out now. They're all in Asgard's hall now. And so that's kind of the whole trajectory of this piece. He has finally arrived at Asgard.
To pluck the strings of destiny. Valhalla calling me. Valhalla calling me.
Oh my God! What?
So consistent with that.
Right
There's
back
that-
up there again.
There's that theme again.
Feeling like a king, I'm more like a guy. Feeling eternal like I'll never die. Getting revenge, an eye for an eye. Ready for battle and ready to fight. Ready for war, right at the top. Ended with blood from the head of my ops. This how I go, it don't ever stop. This what I do, I'm up at the top. Wrath the hell raining down. When it come, they hit the ground. They all end up 6 feet under. Their souls end up in the clouds. Fight for the crew cause we'll bleed and brawl. Always protect to be free, never fall. Fight for the glory, the conquer the creed, and we'll never forget Valhalla.
That's so intense. That is so cool. So now Janon obviously is taking the lead here, right? And the rapping is just so exquisite because it's not easy to rap. It's not just talking. It has to be so perfectly executed that the consonants really propel the vowels and you can't overchew. Yeah? So
You have a rap about this, don't you? Do your rap. Do the rap. Do the rap, Jen. Yes. Do the freaking rap. It's hilarious.
I just you can't overchew or you will be screwed, you know? Like you have to let it flow. Please don't. Please edit this out.
Yeah, I'll edit it out.
Oh my God.
So let's talk a little bit. Let's talk about
believe
this
you.
rap. So I do have it pulled up here. I want to talk a little bit. Yeah, I'll edit it out. Don't worry. Let's talk about this rap here. I actually have it pulled up here, and so why don't we go through exactly what he's talking about here? Because this is pretty deep.
So I feel like a king or more like a god, feeling eternal like I'll never die.
Okay, so when you fall in battle, as we talked about, you go up to Valhalla, right? And so this is so important that you actually fall during battle, because if a Viking, let's just say a Viking outages, like if they get too old to fight in battle, that they become a liability, that's not a good thing for them, because that means that they missed their opportunity to die in battle and go up to Valhalla, right? And so what he's talking about is he's fallen during battle, right? And he says, I feel like a king, but more like a god, right? He's literally hanging out with the gods up in Asgard, right? And so that's really what this is kind of breaking down right here. Feeling eternal like I'll never die. Like this is eternal, right? This is never going to end.
And a little Hammurabi's code here, getting revenge, an eye for an eye, ready for battle, we're ready to fight, ready for war, right at the drop.
Right, so getting revenge, an eye for an eye. So this is Vikings in battle, seeking their revenge, fighting for Odin, fighting for the Viking, right? Like they're battling for this so that they can go up to Valhalla, and they're ready for war, right? Right when they get there, right when they arrive at Valhalla, they are ready for war.
End it with blood from the head of my ops. This how it go. It don't ever stop. This what I do when I'm up at the top.
Yeah, so when I'm up at the top, way up there in Valhalla, so I'm going to end my my battle, ending my life with blood in battle as a Viking, and this is how it go. It never stopped. When we get up there, again, battling forever up in Valhalla.
Wrath of hell raining down. When it come, they hit the ground. They all end up 6 feet under. Their souls end up in the clouds.
Great dichotomy there. So 6 feet under, but their souls up in the clouds. And so they die during battle. They're buried 6 feet under, but they go up to Valhalla.
Fight for the crew, because we'll bleed and we'll brawl. Always protect to be free, never fall. Fight for the glory, the conquer, the creed.
Yes.
And we'll never forget Valhalla.
Yeah, all of this like fighting for the crew thing. This is they are a team, right? They are all together, right? They are fighting for their way. They are fighting for Viking, right? They are on that side so that they can go up to Valhalla, fighting for their freedom, essentially, to be able to go up to Valhalla. We'll never forget our battle. We'll never forget that we fought in battle and that we died. Valhalla. So now they're in Valhalla. They're really, really a cool rap. And so really like the ticket for getting into Valhalla is dying in battle, and that's exactly what happened to Janon right before this song starts. So really, really amazing rap, really well thought out. Another thing I wanted to add, it's not in the original song. So this was written by VoicePlay or Janon or probably Janon, maybe VoicePlay. I don't know. Maybe there was a collaboration. This part of it was not written by Gav, Miracle of Sound. This was added in as their own little touch. It's really, really cool.
Feeling like a king, I'm more like a guy. Feeling eternal like I'll never die. Getting revenge and eye for an eye. Ready for battle and ready to fight. Ready for war, right at the top. Ended with blood from the head of my ops. This how I go, it don't ever stop. This what I do, I'm up at the top. Wrap the hell raining down. When it come, they hit the
harmonies.
They all end up 6 feet up.
This is war.
Breathiness to them, yeah.
Fight for the crew cause we'll bleed and we'll brawl. Always protect to be free, never fall. Fight for the glory, the conquer the creed, and we'll never forget Valhalla.
The echoes of eternity.
Okay, so there's
Valhalla calling me.
notice how it completely dies down there. It's like you just hear the kind of echoing.
Yeah.
That, I think the quietness that happens right after he says Valhalla comes down, right? That to me is like probably what you would imagine would happen if you fell in battle. Like all of a sudden you're fighting, it's loud, and then you fall, and then it's completely silent, and all you hear
Kind of like
is
that weapon being thrown earlier, right?
right. Time stops, and you hear oh. It's like, whoa, they're calling me, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool.
It is.
So freaking cool.
The echoes of eternity. Valhalla calling me.
And notice how it's Odin calling him. The echoes of eternity. My God, I barely have that note.
It's late.
Let's cut this. We're editing that out right now. It's Odin calling him. So he falls in battle, and the first thing he hears again is the whoa, and then Odin, the echoes of eternity. So cool.
Valhalla calling me.
To pluck the strings of destiny. Valhalla calling me. Valhalla calling me.
Oh, was that Lane? Like, so cool. It almost sounds like a fire alarm or something. Like, right, like sound the alarms, right? So I would say that like this alarm is probably saying like there another battle is about to happen. And if you notice, they're not. Notice where they are too. Are they in Asgard? No, they're not in Valhalla. They're back down here on Earth, right? And so I think that the next battle that's about to happen is not up in Valhalla. I think the battle that's about to happen is actually here on Earth, because they're not the ones fighting. They're not battling right now. I feel like if it was them, they would all just be. They would have their axes out and all that, right?
Yeah.
So I think that another battle is about to break out right now. It looks to me like they're watching something.
Yeah.
Like they're almost like they're rooting
like a sporting
for.
event.
Yeah, it almost feels they're like a sporting event watching
yeah.
this battle take place. Like they're spectators of the battle, watching these warriors, and they're just
them on.
Yeah, like rooting them on, and then summoning the fallen the fallen warriors up to Valhalla.
Sure. so good.
Oh, absolutely insane.
That's really nice, guys.
And it ends with like a stomp, and like it makes me kind of think of though is, sure, it blacks out like another soldier may have fallen. Maybe that's what that kind of blackout is. But also, notice how it didn't end on a subharmonic. It was like Valhalla calling me. Notice how it didn't quite end like that, because that to me would be like, oh, story over, it's done. But no, this is the echo of eternity. Like this is something that happens forever. This is continuing to go. So the story, I think, is about to happen again with a new character. So it's not going to be Jaenon. It's going to be a new character. And so that's, oh my God, you guys picked a good one for us to break down like this. There was so much thought into this, and every time I listen to it, I hear something different. So like, I know this was really, really deep, but I could probably go on for another hour if I just listened to it a couple more times.
Yeah, there's a lot to dissect here.
Oh my God. So, all right, y'all. Thank you so much for checking us out and tuning into this. This was so much fun. Again, thank you for requesting this analysis. A couple of things, couple plugs for us. Definitely, please check out the Patreon. If you really like what we're doing here, all proceeds are going to come right back in to making more videos for y'all so that we can really continue doing this. I also got the Amazon wish list up there, which a lot of you have already been, sending me some really cool stuff, which I'm so grateful for. Anyone that's trying to get better at singing, we already mentioned Bass Singer Academy with Peter Barber, but Jen and I also have 2 other programs. We got StudioBrev, which is our premier program. That's an opportunity for you to actually work with us multiple times per week in real time over Zoom. That's an entire year. And then we have StudioBrev LITE, which is very similar to that. You learn the same fundamentals, but we do the monthly calls rather than the weekly coachings, the multiple coachings every week. And so depending on where you're at in your journey on this. But again, thanks for being here. We appreciate it so much. Please like and subscribe and tell your friends to come on down to StudioBrev to watch another analysis video. All right. Peace.